Our next topic is one that we've visited in stages over the years, how Stern is reaching out to locations and operators and players, and in a minute I'm going to set up the famous structure of the industry chart that we use every year, the venerable chart. And you've heard him before, Michael Grant, who is now the senior manager of global location entertainment for Stern Pinball.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Well, I'm extremely excited and honored and privileged to speak before y'all here, who's in attendance, as well as everyone listening and watching on the video upload later after the fact. I'm extremely proud of the people sitting beside me, including all other Stern Army members. We have Jess Warren, Amber Lee, and Mike Focus. We're going to get into all the amazing work they are doing to help promote location pinball, support their local communities, support their favorite operators, and how we do it. So extremely excited about this. So let's get into it. First of all, who here is relatively familiar with Stern Army? Show of hands. Oh, most of you, just about everybody. Great. Who's participated in a Stern Army tournament or event? Great. Of you people, how many have been to a Stern Army launch party? Just about all of you. Fantastic. Excellent. All right, let's get this started. Let's see. All right, so Stern Army. We're going to learn what is it, what's our goal, what are the benefits for the local pinball communities, pinball operators, pinball locations, and Stern Army members. So what is Stern Army? You see some familiar faces here. So we are, let's go back, sorry. Here we are. Stern Army is the global network of official Stern brand ambassador tournament directors who make up Stern Pinball Street Team, the Stern Army. Members coordinate with their dedicated public location and operator to plan, promote, and execute Stern Army branded, IFBA sanctioned pinball events at least monthly. So, the Stern Army member jacket, what does this signify? It signifies prestigious membership of Stern Pinball's global street team, Stern Army. This person is likely a Stern Army tournament director who, again, plans, promotes, and executes Stern Army events at their designated location. They are Stern Pinball brand ambassador, a leader in their pinball community, and they're actively driving pinball growth to their favorite pinball locations while growing and supporting their pinball operator and growing the community. So here are some fun pictures of Amber's events. I love their D&D outfits for their launch party. Very cool. There'll be pictures mixed in between the slides. People like pictures. I went backwards. Let's try that again. All right. So what's our goal? We're trying to grow pinball. By doing that, we solidify a relationship between the location, the player base, and Stern Pinball through hosting recurring events at their designated location. So we inspire and empower tournament directors to help develop and nurture their local pinball communities while providing support and resources to help accomplish this goal. Together, we're growing pinball worldwide at the local level. In doing such, we're creating more locations, more games, more players, and a stronger pinball community. All right, so what are the requirements for a location to be a Stern Army location? So it must be a public location, the Google Maps listing with clearly stated public business hours, must have 4 or more working pinball machines, including at least one Stern, more Sterns the better, and you can use other brands' tournament games in your tournaments, that's totally fine. And ideally, there would be a high score leaderboard, but it's certainly not required, it's just encouraged. So here's some pictures of events that I have run in the Chicagoland area. And for those who don't know, I'm actually from New England. This is my home show, my favorite show, to see all my friends. But I'm currently living in Chicago and helping grow the pinball community out there. So, member responsibilities. Ultimately, it's simple as committing to hosting, running your events once a month. They have to be IFBA sanctioned at your designated location. Be sure to create an IFBA tournament director account to schedule in your events and submit them to the calendar. So you want to coordinate with the location, get to know the people who make the key decisions, whether it's the general manager, the person who runs the marketing, the bartenders. And then you want to ideally determine a recurring schedule, whether it's the first Tuesday of the month, the third Wednesday, whatever it is. Get into a routine to help train people and familiarize them with when the tournaments are happening. You can ask the location to donate prize support. I always recommend a gift card or merch from the location. Helps people coming back and support the location. Of course, consult your local liquor laws, but you can ask them about food and beverage specials, maybe some, half-price apps, something like that. And of course, coordinate marketing. There's all sorts of things you can do. A lot of times, the location will have an employee who runs their their social media. So you'd want to create a digital event flyer, create a Facebook event. And these are things you have to do, but it certainly helps bring visibility to your events. You create a local digital community, like we've got the Long Island Pinball Society that Mike's created, and another group. Absolutely, shout out. And we'll get into some, we'll show examples of all the great work these people are doing to promote their events.
I have flyers up there for my tournaments in Brooklyn.
Excellent. Physical flyers at the location, bathroom posters, whatnot. Get your events listed in the location newsletter email, and of course, display the Stern Army banner at the location. So additionally, a member should be coordinating with the pinball operator. The pinball operator is a person who owns the equipment. Sometimes it is the location itself. Sometimes it's a third party who, what their job is, they purchase pinball machines and other equipment like cranes or ATM machines, jukeboxes, or whatnot, and they operate that as their job. So they maintain the games, they purchase the games, they own the games. Maybe they share some of the revenue with the location, and they also empty the cash box at the end of the week. So coordinate with them. Maybe you can get access to the game keys if they're comfortable with that. Again, getting to know them helps build trust. So they get keys to make game adjustments, free stuck balls or whatnot. Be sure to communicate any issues with the games to the operator. Hey, we got a stuck switch on this ramp or whatnot, just to keep the games playing as best as possible. And then also, be sure the operator knows the schedule of when you're running your events. Ideally, you can create a preventative maintenance schedule that's aligned with your event schedule. If you know you have a tournament the last weekend of the month, have the operator come in a week or two beforehand, or maybe the week beforehand, to clean the games and doing any preventative maintenance that might help. Communicate with the players. You want to provide a welcoming, safe environment for the players. Pinball is for everyone, and that's something I firmly believe in and is part of our mission. You want to update, engage the players, use social media, to distribute maybe your own newsletter, leverage Stern Army Insider Connected marketing assets provided. So we have a Dropbox folder with official assets that we create, logos, the quests you might have heard about for Insider Connected. These people have access to these assets and they can do what they want with them as far as using them to promote their events. We recommend using matchplay.com to run your tournament, free software. And we also recommend using the website wheelofnames.com for random giveaways. It's a fun way to make sure prizes are given away at random. And random prizes are great because anyone can be a winner. it can feel discouraging if the same handful of top players always win the prizes. So winners should receive something, of course, but I highly encourage really cool prizes at random. It really helps encourage new players to return. It's just good for the vibes overall. Here's some fun pictures of me with Stern Army members. In the top left, we've got Connie and Tom. They're actually from Illinois, where I live. And we've got Steve Keeler, who's in the audience here,
Woo!
with Mike Dodona, Big Mike, representing Rock Fantasy. We got Zach from Fun Spot. He should be here. There he is. Amber, of course, and Mike. I don't have any pictures with Jess yet, but we'll get one today. All right. I went backwards again. Sorry, guys. All right. Pinball community benefits. So how does this help a local pinball community? Well, ideally, we're getting more locations to choose from to play at. We have an enriched local pinball community. New people are joining, which is fun. We're connecting with like-minded people and making friends. I've made more friends through pinball than I ever have. Personal sense of belonging and fellowship. I think we can all agree that's why we're in this room. Prizes and giveaways from Stern Pinball. Again, I mentioned partner with the location, but also other sponsors. Maybe there's a bakery down the corner that wouldn't mind some extra publicity for their product. So hit up local businesses. Again, random giveaways means anyone can be a winner, regardless of skill.
Michael, also remember that the games get better maintained. That's a benefit right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Maintenance is a very good thing. And of course, with Stern Army launch party experiences, you can see Amber really embraced the D&D theme. Make it fun. And of course, you get an insider connected launch party badge with a launch party. So benefits to the operator. Priority shipment of newly released games. So when we release a new title, we want people to play the game on location. So if you're a Stern Army location, you're getting your game first. You're seeing that initial spike in revenue when everyone wants to play a new game. So we want, ideally, that to be benefiting the operator. With Stern Army events, you're expanding the player base. You're bolstering the player community. And of course, increased activity around the games means more earnings in the cash box. And then you, of course, a personal opportunity as the operator to embrace, join, embrace, and enhance your local pinball community. Be part of it. Make a difference. And again, another note about random prize giveaways, encourage participation and attract new players and encourages them to return. So to host a launch party, you must be an active Stern Army location. It's an official celebration of a new Cornerstone release that's going to live at the location. This is an exclusive perk for Stern Army locations. It's more than a tournament. I encourage people to incorporate the theme into the party, make it fun. Again, players will earn a launch party insider connected badge when they log in on the featured game and play a complete game during the event. And we provide fun prizes and giveaways. Here's some photos from Jaws launch parties. Kind of cool. All right. Keep going backwards, sorry guys. So here's some photos from the Sanctum. On the left, you'll see, so I started sending these for each game. It's an event file. The original idea was people would post their event, they would post it around their location and write in their event details. You know, come to the party, the launch party on this date, it'll be this type of tournament. But some locations, like the Sanctum, started having everyone that's participating in the tournament sign this, which I think is really cool.
That's great.
Yeah. And Gary was kind enough to join the party as well. So, thanks, Gary. Yes. So what's in it for me, the Stern Army member? Well, you're an official Stern Army brand ambassador and leader in your pinball community. I think it's pretty cool. You get to develop and nurture your local pinball community. You get free prize support for your events. You get this really cool jacket and access to special preview webinars for new Stern titles. Yesterday, as soon as the teaser dropped for King Kong, Myth of Terror Island, I emailed everyone all 1,000 plus Stern Army members the link to the webinar. So they'll get special access to learn about the game before the general public.
If you're not able to watch the webinar Tuesday night, are you able to see the webinar at a later date or be involved?
You have to be in the webinar to see it, unfortunately, because we don't record it. So I highly encourage you, if you can't make it,
I can't make it.
uh,
That's all right, I can.
sorry. Let's see. Oh, also, additionally, invitation to the annual Stern Army Appreciation Party at Microphone Brewing in Elk Grove Village. So this is something I'm really proud of. This coming year will be the third one I've hosted. It's a special event to recognize and show our Stern Pinball's appreciation for the great work Stern Army members are doing. We have a great time. All the VIPs from Stern come. We have a party. We drink a lot of alcoholic beverages. It's good music. It's a really great event, and I encourage anyone in the Stern Army to attend. So here's a flyer for one of Jess's event series. Rob Wong Invitational. Come check out Rulos, April 6th and May 4th. Some more photos from her events. Look, is that John Wick in person? That looks like John Wick?
That's Bart, the owner of Rulos, who
Incredible.
did dress up for the occasion.
Incredible.
Where is Bruno?
In South Slope, Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Across the street from Buttermilk. So sometimes we do tournaments where we go back and forth.
Here are some more pictures of her events. You can see in the top
I
left,
didn't
she
bring
was
my
streaming.
Wolverine blades.
Yeah, she's dressed up as Wolverine. That's so cool. Again, embracing the theme of her X-Men. And over on the right, you can see the Grand Champion plaque, some sales flyers, some stickers, and we even include some muscle cars for the John Wick launch party. Here is some. Here's Mike's banner on the left that he created himself using some of the assets we provided. You can see the Stern Army logo and the IFPA logo, but come down and join the fun. Mike came out of nowhere. I'm really proud of Mike. I'm proud of all Stern Army members, but he runs events at a location that has its unique share of obstacles, and he's done a fantastic job overcoming them and creating a vibrant pinball community. It's really something special.
Yeah, I run them at a round one location, and I know they're not everywhere, but similar to like a Dave & Buster's, like a family entertainment center. They do have, I think a lineup of 12 Sterns, and I had gotten the idea too because they had a Stern Army banner in the window, and I reached out to Mike, and I was like, I see the banner. Is this a location? He said no. And then I worked with the GM and him and, got everything going. So.
I like how you show the translates on your flyer.
Yeah, if you can see on the right side of the screen, he made this great flyer to promote the translates that will be given away at his events.
I tried to do some color coordination. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
great, really great. If anyone needs a template, I'm sure Mike could share it.
Oh, it's postermywall.com, a good website. They have a lot of templates. That's where I got this one from. I mean, I obviously changed a lot of it, but
Very nice. Here's some photos from his events. It's great to see. All right, and now, absolutely. And here's a photo from the Stern Army Appreciation Party. That's where I said a few words during it. And then here's some more photos from it. You can see there are 2 Insider Connected badges. One was for the inaugural one in 2023. And last year we had just released Metallica during Pinball Expo Week. So I created sort of a Metallica-esque event badge for that. And you can see photos of Gary, George, Seth, the whole gang. Yeah, Cheryl. Cheryl, I used to run events at Microphone where this party takes place. I've since passed the torch to Cheryl, and then Cheryl has since actually become an employee of Stern. She's an electrical engineer and helps build all the prototypes and whatnot. She's incredibly talented.
3D, Gary.
Right? 3D. Here's a screenshot of this is an old screenshot, we have more memories now, but of the Stern Army Facebook group that I've created. It's a private group for us to have discussion about Stern Army, ask any questions about running events or whatnot, just a forum for us. Here's digital images of the event poster, as well as we send physical Grand Champion plaques. This is the image of the decal we use for launch parties. Some more, another fun photo of a Jaws launch party.
Complete with shark.
Right? Some
Every picture, everybody at these tournaments is smiling.
that's true.
Every picture, everybody's smiling.
And that, that's a great point, Dennis. What we're doing really, look, I know we're here to talk about pinball, but it's a lot more than that. And we're building a third space, a place for people to go to forget about work, to forget about the daily grind, the monotony, all the stresses in our lives. When we're playing pinball, in that moment, we're with our friends, we're not worried about anything else. And I think that's really powerful. It's something we all need. So I can't stress how thankful I am for these folks and everyone around the world who are running these events. This is something that's professionally and personally important to me. And I'm honored and privileged to have this platform to execute this. I think we're doing great work, and we're just getting started. So, jumped ahead quick. So, this is something that's also very important to me. Support of women's events. Yeah, very important. We're committed to supporting women's pinball events. We're currently supporting more than 75 women's clubs around the world. The requirements are the same. Just run one Stern Army branded, IFB sanctioned event at your location. I'm not going to micromanage your events. I'm not telling you to run additional events or change your events. Just have fun. That's all I'm asking. You don't have to be bells and chimes. It could be your own club, independent. Pinball's for everyone. And so Amber runs bells and chimes in her area, and Jess has experience doing so. Do you guys want to jump in and share any feedback?
I was just going to say, I don't know if that's on or not, but I'm loud anyway. So I run 2 tournaments a month. I actually run an open tournament, and I run a women's tournament monthly.
Yep.
I work with a local pizza place, and I actually operate as well as run tournaments. So we have like a group of operators that works together to get games into our location. But yeah, we try to do monthly. We're really lucky to have a lot of women's support in our area, all the way up and through New England. You know, many of you probably already may have participated in the Bells and Chimes, Connecticut and Massachusetts joint effort yesterday. There's a really good presence, so it's nice to be in tiny little Rhode Island and also be contributing to that.
And well, I say, run monthly events. If you miss a month or so, it's okay. We're not going to punish you. We're not going to take you out of the club. We all have
Good.
lives. Things happen. People get sick, whatever.
I didn't do mine this month because I'm here. It would have been this weekend.
Absolutely.
I have
I think
not
it's a good
missed one. I'm in a 7-week stretch of running a tournament every weekend or traveling to one.
Wow, incredible. And that's something that I should touch on. It's like we're all of us here are giving up a little bit of sacrificing a little bit of our own enjoyment to make sure that others are benefiting from that. We've all had our fun. Amber, she's told me the story where, there were tournaments being run, and she said, well, I'll just run them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much why I got into it. I'm pretty good at organizing things, and so I jumped in and started running ours. And now our open tournaments have gotten so large, I no longer play in them as well because we have so many people. Great problem to have. So I've made sure that at least once a month I'm getting out to another location and getting to play an open tournament myself. So you got to make those those exchanges in how you're doing things to make sure you're still getting out and having fun in a different way.
Excellent.
I guess the question.
Yes, Dennis. Oh, come over here, Mike. Dennis.
So my question is, you guys run tournaments, do you do a weekly or you do a monthly? And how many people, between all three of you, how many people typically show up for one of your tournaments?
So I run mine monthly. I would say that we get around 18 to 20. I think I had 23 in January was the high.
That was your yearly, your 1 year anniversary event, right?
Yeah, a month before, yeah,
Okay.
February, I think. So February is the 1 year, and January we had 23.
Cool.
So I run mine monthly, but I run two. So I run every second Sunday is our open, every second Tuesday is our women's. And for our open, I usually get somewhere between 24 to 32. And for our women's, we usually get anywhere between 16 and 24.
So I run my Stern Army is a Sunday monthly, which is a match play. I also run a Saturday monthly strikes. And I usually get about 20, 25 people for those. And then also twice a year, I co-run Valentine's Day and Brooklyn Pin Pride. We were just able to go up to 56 players in February for Valentine's Day. We do a Trans Lights for Trans Rights silent auction that raises money for the Transgender Law Center. And we also raise money for the Ali Forney Center, which provides services to unhoused queer youth in New York City. We've had 6 of those events, and we've raised more than $24,000.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you, and I know that when you guys run these events are thankless. People don't realize what you put into them behind the scenes. There's a lot of preparation, but thank you.
Thank you.
What are you, can I piggyback on that? Jess, you said what your format's at. What formats do you?
So I run a group match play. I do 6 rounds with top 4 go to finals, and I would expand. Finals would expand depending on number of participants.
I actually switch it up. I try to do a different format every month, and that's partly because I'll look around and see what other larger tournaments are happening in other states and what their format is, and try to get my local people to try it out and then let them know that there's a tournament coming up elsewhere so that they feel a little more secure in trying a new format or trying something else. So we'll do, a target match play 1 month, we'll do a group another, we might do something Flip Frenzy-esque if something's coming up elsewhere. But just to try to get them, a lot of our players are new, a lot. So to try to get them comfortable with formats and feeling really empowered to go out and visit other locations, other states, other tournaments, without feeling like they're jumping into something they've never tried.
That's really cool. I've tried to experiment a little with the format for launch parties, but for my monthly, we have to finish by 9:30 for karaoke, so like we're time boxed there, so that's why we only do top 4 finals and whatnot. But it's great because, the format's flexible and you can figure out what works for your location and your players.
I think you should just have your top 4 also pick their karaoke song and have it be
great,
like a
right?
live competition.
They can sing while they play.
Yes.
Here are some photos from some women's events. On the left, I believe it's a Sanctum, and on the right is, again, Microphone Brewing. And you can see Erin Seiden hosting an event there. Erin has joined her husband, Mark, to move out to Chicago to work in pinball. And Erin does a great job running Stern Army events for us. Here's some more photos of women's events around the country and world. Everybody, again, smiling, have a great time. Some really funny reactions in these pictures. All right, so location benefits. So Stern Army locations receive first priority shipment of the new games. We want players, again, to experience a new game at your location. So we're driving traffic to your location through our Stern Army events as well as Insider Connected. This would be a whole separate discussion about what we're doing with Insider Connected and quests and achievements. We're really trying to, again, drive players to locations to try and experience pinball.
So I actually during the Pinball Cup, I had put up like a side challenge and used, I think it was during the Turkey Trot. For the night of the tournament, the top player got a shirt. So depending on the number of points they accumulated over the course of the night for the Pinball Cup, you could look at it. I used the location and essentially took a screenshot right as we started, after, to determine who won. So I tried to incorporate some of that just as like a side challenge. Again, players of all skill levels. And, what's nice too is with the Pinball Cup, players were earning points. They didn't even realize it necessarily. Some players didn't even realize it. So it was like a nice little bonus.
And with increased traffic at the location should see, increased incremental food and beverage sales. The location should schedule so that tournament directors should coordinate with the location to decide on a recurring schedule. Schedule it strategically. Think about maybe you want to schedule it on a slower night, like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are very popular to help bring people into the premise. The location is broadening and expanding their customer base. We're elevating the entertainment experience at the location. It's way cooler with pinball. I think we all agree. I'd rather go to a place with pinball. I know when I'm driving, or I'll check Insider Connected to see where's the nearest connected game that I can. I'd rather eat at this place. They have IC. And then of course they can leverage the games, the pinball art on social media, promoting their location. Sometimes you'll see like a beer or a food plate, and with all the pinball machines in the background. I love that. I love seeing that. So that's a way they can use leverage pinball to differentiate themselves from other businesses. Here are some examples of some events I set up in the Chicago area. Two Brothers Brewing and Microphone Brewing, and some of the ways they're doing that. You can see in the top left, their Two Brothers Pinball themed beer with pinballs in the background. Their beverage, their food offerings. In the top right, this is something cool. At Microphone, we host tournaments the first Thursday of every month. This is a static framed picture that lives at the location. We're always going to be running tournaments, so people see this poster and like, oh, maybe one of these days I should stop by and see what it's all about. And it works. The lower left, they have a really cool marquee sign with I just absolutely love seeing Stern Army on that. Man, it's cool. Right behind the bar. And then on the lower right, Microphone made a pinball-themed T-shirt. Microphone is a really great partner with Stern Pinball. We're very thankful for our relationship. Just real quick, here's an example of a Two Brothers Pinball on Tap tournament on Facebook, a Facebook event, just to show some of the ways these events are being promoted. Here's a Facebook event on the left from Microphone. Derek was running these events last year, but Cheryl is actually now running these events. I ran them before Derek. And you can see Erin on the right there again at Microphone. Here's that. Maybe you couldn't see this when I was talking about it earlier. Maybe you could, yeah. Here's a better picture of that sign. Here on the left is a post on social media. You can see their weekly calendar events, the Stern Pinball Tournament, and on the right they email it to their customer base. So again, another way to bring new players to the event, or to make them aware of the event. Here's a shot of the events being in my area on the IFBA tournament calendar. All right, let's talk about growth. So we're seeing incredible growth, absolutely explosive demand, double-digit year-to-year growth. It's incredible. We have more than 1,000 cumulative Stern Army members, which I'm absolutely blown away by. In the past few years, we're really seeing an uptick in participation of Stern Army. We have more than 825 unique Stern Army locations around the world in 22 countries and counting. All in all, we've done more than 3,600 individual launch parties since Guardians of the Galaxy. And now we're international. We've hired Lloyd Dorton, who dotted line reports to me. He helps manage Stern Army in Europe, as well as assisting operators with their ICA Pro accounts and locations. Again, we are global, active in 22 countries and counting. You can see the list of countries here. And we have more in the works. And there was a reminder, everyone should log in and play at the games in the automated booth to earn their event badge for Fantastic Pinball. We used the fantastic 10th anniversary logo to create the badge. I think it came out great.
I have to get one after this.
Yeah, same.
This is great. We're just about at the end. I'd love to do some Q&A with the audience. Dave, you might have some questions.
I have a question. It's more like an observation. Even though it's called an army, it seems like you're very non-combative. Like it's nothing that you said is one chapter of the army is trying to outdo another. Everything's cooperative, right?
Absolutely, 100%. One might argue the choice of the name Stern Army at once upon a time was not the best name. I know it's not necessarily. You know, I'll just say this: we don't really lean into the military theme of it. It's all inclusive. You know, it's where no one is fighting. The Army is more of a theoretical representation of the quantity of great volunteers that are doing amazing work around the world.
It's like the KISS Army.
Hey, KISS is a great example. Steve.
Kiss Army.
It's a great example.
parallel. Okay. Other questions? Come on down here.
I mean, I look at it more like a network too, right? I mean, when I started running my tournaments and I put this community group together, I really didn't know anybody. There was a place that kind of had a tournament, and then they stopped having tournaments. And when I got into the hobby, I was watching tournament streams and everything, and I was like, I want to do tournaments. And that's when I also started to figure out how, right? And then, through that, I've wanted to play in more, so I've gone into Brooklyn, and I've met, Jess and the other directors who run tournaments down there. And even there's a lot of non-Stern Army events, still IFPA, but again, it's just a huge network of people. Come up to Rock Fantasy and played a few times. So definitely very expansive.
Yes.
Are most of the Stern, Vermont has a unique pinball landscape. It's not up.
It is out.
It is on. Check. So Vermont has a unique pinball landscape northern-wise. The locations southern-wise, Pastime Pinball in Manchester and Gravitate in Rutland are larger locations, very public locations. Mm-hmm. Our biggest location in Burlington is the Pinball Co-op, 36 machines, but it's a private club.
Yes.
And it gets to the point where you don't want all that much more foot traffic. The location pinball in central and northern Vermont is small. And so I'm wondering if most of the Stern Army locations are public locations, or are they more private club that
Great
feel
question.
like they have a cap?
I'm glad we're talking about this. So most locations are public businesses. However, we do have examples of private clubs that meet all the requirements, such as the Sanctum, such as the Western Mass Pinball Club, the Southern New Hampshire Pinball Club. The only thing we need to do is have public hours listed. Maybe it's once a month on a Saturday where you invite the public to come in and check out the games or whatnot. Ultimately, we need folks. The idea is we want folks to be able to to find on Google a place to play pinball. And if that's the nearest place, they can see, okay, they're open on these days at these hours to check it out. But so I'm willing, and again, I'm willing to work with folks. Just reach out to me, sternarmy@sternpinball.com, and I can answer any questions.
Hi there. Can you hear me through
Yes.
this, by the way? Okay. This ties in just with what you're saying. I'm curious if there's a way to have a Stern event in a private home.
It's a great question. That is something we're looking at. We're going to be doing a test program in Europe for actually private clubs and potentially residences that are hosting IFBA tournaments. It's something we're looking at. It's not something that's right around the corner, but we are absolutely aware. More games do ship from Stern and our distributors to the home market, but more people are playing games on location than in their people's homes. So it's a balance. So we want to support both events at home ultimately and events on location. So it's a great question. And it just would take for us to do it right. It would require a lot of resources. There would be huge demand, I'm sure of it. So we want to do it right. When we roll it out, we want to make sure we do it the right way. But it's a great question, and just give us some time.
Okay, thank you.
You know, even with the tournaments and clubs, right? I mean, you can always cap it. You can always put a cap, like 24, 36 players. Like, my idea would be to, obviously, if it's a closed membership club, not open to the public, you could run maybe a monthly open event where the members pay to the pot fee, public pays, a cost plus pot fee.
Yeah, it's not that, it is open to the public, it's just that it's, the owner doesn't want he doesn't really want to drive more business in.
Okay.
More business is not helping this club. It's good, we welcome it, we want the, private parties, all the things, we always want more people. But it does, the year that I promoted the state championships, he almost had to cap the number of people coming in nightly, on the night he's out, and that is what we don't want. Because then it's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think he's interested in the Stern Army because he just doesn't want that kind, he doesn't need it.
Understood.
It doesn't help his business. But there are locations that are smaller that would love it,
Mm.
but none of them have one here.
Well, send me an email. We can,
Yeah, it sounds like we're working toward a solution here that maybe launch parties have a different qualification, that the launch party has to be in a certain kind of place that is more public, and then the monthly tournament, if you start looking at caps, and how about advanced registration? Do you have any guidelines about a tournament that you would register in advance and it's only 24 and it fills up in 2 seconds and
People
that's
can
still
Yeah, we try not to micromanage folks' tournaments. If they want to set a cap with pre-registration, they're certainly welcome to.
I think a lot of times it just depends on number of machines and space, Like, I haven't had an issue. I mean, we have at mine is 12 games, but 10 unique games. They do have 2 duplicates. So I haven't run into an issue yet where, I have too many people where they'd have to like sit and wait for games, or, I mean, one of the games has not functioned that well that I don't use at all. So like one of the duplicates I don't use. So like it would limit, I don't want people waiting around, for a 30-minute round and then they get on the game and now everybody else has to wait because one group, I haven't run into that issue.
Yeah, I look at what we have for games on the floor, and I do a multiplier of about 4 people, just because if we're doing like group match play or what have you. So I do the math quick. I usually put it on the IFPA event. I don't do pre-reg. I've started doing some pre-reg on match play just to make life easier for people if they want to put themselves in, but I'm not, I haven't reached caps yet. If I do, great, that's awesome. I hope I reach a cap. That would be great. But as for now, I just kind of put a number up saying like each game times about 4 people based on what format I'm running, and then we usually don't hit it, because we've got like 10, 12 machines, so I'm not suffering for lack of games.
Yeah, or the Rob Wong Invitational has a hard 40 player cap because only taking 4 people to finals, so fitting in that taking between 10 and 50% of your field to finals. But we've never hit 40 yet. I don't do pre-registration for my monthly events. It's just show up. I do signups half an hour before the tournament starts. So, I just use like a Word sign-up sheet that I made and collect people's $10. And I do pre-registration for the 2 larger LGBTQIA plus fundraiser events, though.
I think you guys had like 80 people plus whatever the cap was, plus there was like another 20 something.
We got 40 signups in a minute and hit our 56 player cap, I think in 7 minutes this year.
And
That's
then,
awesome.
Then there was like a huge wait list. And
Totally,
everything.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put all my people directly into match play when they come in, because it now also has prize pool tracking, so you can make it come up with your prize split outs for you, so you don't have to math even once. Great.
True. Yeah, match play is always getting better.
Big
Andreas
match
is
play plug.
amazing.
I've got a question for Michael.
Hey, Steve.
Hey. So we're encouraged to log in for the launch parties.
Yes.
And for tournaments on the Insider Connected. But I've been told that some of my players, like last week, where they were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and some of the players didn't want people logging in because there's an advantage with certain games. I believe the Venom and the Dungeons and Dragons carries on. So how do you get around that?
Sure.
I wanted to clear that up because
It's a great question. Thank you. Yeah. So there is a solution. So games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Venom, Dungeons and Dragons, where there's game-to-game experience points where a player can earn different things when they're logged in. Their game experience is different than someone who isn't. So the solution is you can put the game in competition mode, whether you do or don't have keys. If you have keys, you can you can change the settings, or if you don't know how to change the settings, you can hold both flippers in until it'll pop up standard game mode. You can toggle. It'll start with standard. You can toggle over, find prolonged competition mode. What this means is it'll stay in competition mode until the game is turned off. And what competition mode does, it removes randomness. It may not remove extra balls, so if you want to turn off extra balls, check that setting. But it starts everyone from the beginning. So maybe you'll level up on your first ball, second ball, or whatever, but everyone's starting at the same point. So that's what I would recommend.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
There was an issue with that you just fixed in the last update, correct?
I don't have first-hand knowledge on that, but I believe that is true. Yeah.
So operators, update your software.
So make sure your
There's a
game's
lesson.
up to date.
Yes, please update your code. We're at 0.89 on D&D. Any other questions? Mom?
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have, is there another Facebook group for like technical questions? Because I seem to remember that was the thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Is there a Stern Facebook group for technical questions?
There is. Yeah. If you Stern Pinball Tech Support, I think.
Okay, I'll try to find it.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah. And if you can't find it, let me know. I can help you. I'd also like to thank my mom for being here.
Aw.
She's the person responsible for getting me into pinball. So when we were on vacation, in the Cape, there'd always be a pin or two in the motel, and she'd always gravitate towards it, and definitely got me into the silver ball. So I'm infinitely grateful for that. So thanks, Mom. Love you. And with that, unless there's any other questions, I just want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you for listening. And if you want to join Stern Army, you have questions, you're interested, please email us at sternarmy@sternpinball.com. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks for coming to the seminar. Thanks to all the panelists. Next seminar will be at 12:30, where a name that was just name dropped here, Raymond Davidson,
Yes.
doing his first ever fireside chat. And we'll see what secrets we can squeeze out of him.